Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Memorial Day. So this is our Sunday stock talk. I'm aware that today is not Sunday, but due to kind of Memorial Day weekend and how everything was playing out, we decided to move it on over to today. So we have 4 days of trading this week. Just want to make sure that we make the most of it. So really looking forward to this overall breakdown. So if you guys are not familiar with what our Sunday stock talks are, this is pretty much when we come together as a group, right? And I simply break down the stocks that you guys all asked me to, as long as you post it in the ticker call out format. So we got Darwin explaining and showing you guys exactly what that looks like, so you guys can see on the right hand side of my screen. So we have this little live chat, and you can see Darwin shared it in the ticker call out format, meaning that he shows the ticker symbol, support, resistance, consolidate, the reason that he sees value in it, and then I get to share my opinion on that. So we got Ismail, who's sharing the ticker call out format. So if you want me to break something down for you and give you my 2 cents, I want to make sure that you do your own due diligence first and that you broke it down. So really looking forward to Grim Reaper in the back. No, that's just Ishmael. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to call him whatever it is that you want. But I want to keep this kind of short and sweet. So let's go ahead and get right to it, and let's have some fun. So really looking forward to this overall week of trading. I've been kind of watching the futures as they opened up on Sunday, and I hope that you guys are excited for a productive kind of week. So again, just make sure that whatever stock you want me to break down for you is in the ticker call out format, and that's all I ask. Also, very quick little incentive for you guys. We are running the Memorial Day sale today, so it's $75 off the Learn, Plan, Profit course. It's the absolute biggest sale that we'll ever offer. So if you like the way that I break things down, if you want to be able to see me trade live just like I do every single day, Monday through Friday, it's the only group that I work with on a closer basis. So if you're wanting to learn how to trade, you're a complete beginner, then again, the first link in the description is an option. It's not something that you have to do, but it's something that I offer if you want my assistance. So let's go ahead and get to it. So we have a couple people sharing their tickers already. So we're going to start off with this one, Frozen Guy RS. That's LAB. Well, you asked me to do LAB versus, so we'll do another one that shows it in the ticker call out format. Here we go, PLNT. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be Planet Fitness, right? So let's go ahead and move this on over here. Let me link this, and here we go. All right, so yeah, Planet Fitness. So let's go ahead and look at this. One of the things that I like to do is I like to understand the overall direction of what it is that I plan to potentially, invest in or trade. So I want you guys to break this down with me. Anyone else's volumes sound bad? Why is the quality bad? Not too sure. I'm sorry that maybe is the volume a little bit lower, or what's going on? It might be because I'm on my laptop and not on my iMac. So I do apologize for that. Yeah, so right now it looks like the best is right now 480p. It should, after it renders, be able to be a little bit higher, but this is what I have to work with as of right now. So how is it making that noise? Damn.
Sounds like a helicopter.
What's it? Test.
Test, test. A lot better.
Test. Okay.
Test, okay. Yeah, they're saying it's better. Whoa, yeah, it's better.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and break down PLNT. So PLNT, how does this look on the 180-day chart, right? 180-day time frame. One of the things that I really like to focus on is, first, I like to identify a pattern. Second thing, I like to identify and confirm a direction. And then the last thing is making sure that the margin of profit is worth it. So I'm happy to hear that this sounds better. Now let's get back to it. What do you guys like or dislike about PLNT? Let's talk about the pros and the cons. So what I like is that the SMA line, which is this green line that you guys see right here, tends to act as a support. So based off previous patterns, it tends to kind of confirm where the overall low point is. So where PLNT, based off previous patterns, tends to sell off, it normally bounces off the SMA line. So then it pushes up, becomes overbought, sells off, holds above the SMA line, pushes up, becomes overbought, usually holds above the SMA line. The RSI looks good. The RSI looks good. Everything looks pretty good about this one. So let's, we like the pattern. Now we just need to wait for confirmation so we can set an alert for this thing to break above the EMA line. So we can simply set our alert for that. So I'm going to right click here, create alert, and set that. I'm also going to create an alert as it approaches its resistance right around that $80 to $81 price point. Let's see what the margin of profit is. So around $76 to about $80, that's about 5.38%. Not bad, right? This is a huge company, right? Planet Fitness has a very consistent uptrend. The overall direction is in our favor. It's showing signs of it showing higher highs, and it makes sense on why it can, if you want to grow your account, then you should invest in patterns that are showing signs of growth. Now we simply just have to wait for confirmation of reversal on PLNT. So waiting for this thing to break above the overall EMA line. So that's one of the things that I would wait out for. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So if this thing begins to sell off even more and break below the SMA line and continue to make lower lows, then this is probably not something that you want to take a part of, right? Because there's a break of pattern there. So I'm going to set my alert both for the support and also for a potential reversal. So I'm actually really happy with that breakdown. So appreciate that call out. Let's go ahead and talk about YETI. So we got Yeti, right? Appreciate that call out. So what do you guys see about Yeti? Good things, bad things? How do you guys feel about this one? So ticker symbol YETI. Looks like it was showing signs of an uptrend, pushed up to highs of about $36 and then broke below the SMA line and is now below the SMA line. Do you guys see that? Look at the MACD, look at the RSI. It's almost showing signs like of a change of pattern or change of direction. This thing was showing signs of it making higher highs when it was above the SMA line, and now it's kind of making lower lows and lower highs. So the direction ultimately might change. So again, it's just possibly I think this needs to be given more time to identify its direction. It's kind of, we don't know if it's going to continue to trend down or if it's going to find a support, based off previous resistance, that it's going to find a support here and then bounce back up. So one thing that we can do is, because we're unaware of what's going to happen to it or what it's doing, is simply set our alerts for critical points, and when the direction is a little bit more clear, we can revisit it and reanalyze it and see if it's something that we want to take a part of later down the road when the direction might be a little bit more clear. So but I appreciate the call out. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We're going to keep things moving here. So ticker symbol EXC. So we got ticker symbol EXC. Here we go, 180-day chart. How do you guys feel about this? So I like the consistent uptrend, right? It continues to make higher highs, higher lows. I like that the overall direction is in its favor. What's one of the things? I want to see if anyone can point it out. What's the third thing where I'm kind of I might be a little indifferent about taking a position on this one? Why would I be a little indifferent about it? The RSI, that could be a reason, but not really. It has to do more with its pattern. So again, one of the things that I found, what are the attractive qualities that were so attractive about this, but then later changed, right? It used to show signs of higher highs and this overall progression of it actually increasing in value, right? So meaning that if you were to invest in it, it would increase in value for your overall trading account. What is something that's going on now that's kind of changing? Do you guys see it? So lower highs, dropping below SMA line, consolidating. I think you guys are right on it. It's all of this, right? It used to have this very consistent progression of an uptrend. And then for maybe the past 2 months to 2 months and a half, you can see that it hasn't really made higher highs. It's kind of, seen a resistance right around $51, right? You guys could see that right around there. And it's building a general support right around this $49 price point. It's doing a lot of consolidation around this area, and it's beginning to break below the SMA line. This might be the beginning of this thing to peak out and then downtrend after that, or it's kind of just consolidating. And then the third question that I always like to ask myself is the margin of profit worth it? With where it's at right now, the extended MACD, the extended RSI, for it to potentially hit $52, that's a 2% margin of profit where it has a much larger margin for loss. The opportunity cost might not be worth it. And that's a question that you want to ask yourself. So for me, this one would be a pass, just because of the sole principle that I don't think the direction is super clear anymore. I think it's potentially showing signs of a reversal or it's just consolidating. So again, I'm uneasy about that, and the risk isn't worth, or the profit or potential isn't worth the risk, and that's just my opinion. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and feel free to develop your own. So we got Darwin sharing ticker symbol UWT. What is going on, my guy? Appreciate you tuning in to the Sunday Stock Talk. Hope you're having an amazing Memorial Day. So we got UWT here. So Darwin, explain to me why. I know why, but I want to see if you guys could point it out. So why would you be interested in something that's sold off so aggressively, like UWT? Why is this something of value? Why is this something that for the Sunday Stock Talk that you called out? Why is this something that you're watching this week? I want to see if anyone can answer it. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's going to right now. All right, so /CL. /CL is the correlating feature, right? And this is one thing that can give me a little bit more data to analyze. So this is the overall direction. So when /CL sells off, so does UWT. When /CL pushes up, so does UWT. And the inverse or opposite happens to DWT, which is the inverse ETF. So we can see a nice little consistent uptrend. We saw some consolidation. We saw it get rejected by the SMA line. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit Group, this is something that we talked about multiple times, that when it broke below the SMA line, that the SMA line was going to act as a resistance, that it had to break above that and continue to make higher highs for it to be an overall change of pattern. It got rejected, sold off, and as of right now, it's still below the EMA line. It's still selling off. The MACD is overbought. It's showing signs of it being overextended. So before you're super quick to identify, hey, this thing could be a potential, dip buy, and it's going to push up to the SMA line and I can make that margin. One of the things that I want to remind you is this overall progression of how something increased in value, how it slowly can also sell off and decrease in value. So understand the pattern that it had. When it pushed up, it became overbought, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back. The same pattern can happen as something sells off. So it pushes up, sells off, pushes up, sells off. It's just instead of making higher highs and higher lows, it then begins to make the lower lows and lower highs. So please, 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 I just want to remind you, and I know that you get to know this, especially you, Darwin, right, that it's great when you find there to be a dip buy opportunity. I just want to make sure that you understand that when it comes down to trading, especially swing trading, if you plan on holding this for more than one day, there's a huge form of risk by holding a position of something that's consistently selling off. When the overall direction is not in your favor, there's another layer of risk that's added to the table. So with that being said, again, just a little reminder, doesn't mean that you can't make money off of it. It just means that maybe you might want to be a little bit more selective with what you choose to trade. So as of right now, yes, there might be a dip buy opportunity, but until the confirmation of the reversal is there, I wouldn't touch it. And just make sure that you keep a very close eye on /CL and its overall direction. And I would just try to see if it's trading in between the middle and top VWAP to see if it's of value, right? So here we go. We got Michael with VIPS. Let's go ahead and break it down. So VIPS, here we go. Okay, nice little consistent uptrend pattern. Looks like it got rejected right around that $9 to $9.26. It's sold off. I can't say that it's super clear that this thing is going to trend up, and that's the thing. Like right now, it broke below SMA line. It's making lower lows, lower highs. Do you see that? So right now, it could be at a peak formation based off the MACD and how it's been performing. So we don't know if it's going to continue to uptrend. So I think we need a little bit more confirmation that this thing's going to bounce. So I'll set my alert on that, and I can simply follow up with it with just that. I'm still a little uncertain about that. So we got Brian. Thank you for tagging me. So that's HEXO. Appreciate that. So HEXO. Here we go. So, yeah. How do you guys feel about this one? I feel like some of you guys might like this one, right? So HEXO. So EXO, right? It looks, what do you guys find attractive about this one? Overall SMA line looks like it's been showing signs of a support. It normally bounces around this general area, which could be viewed as something very attractive, right? Right now we're right around that general area with no confirmation, so it doesn't mean that it's a good buy right now. It just means that it's oversold. It doesn't mean that it's gonna push up right now, and that's why it's so important. The more patient you are, the better that you'll do in this market. That's like the single most simple piece of advice that we can give you is when it comes down to your entry point, you make all your money when you buy the stock, right? Because you waited for it to build that margin of profit. So let's just make sure that we understand how important it is to wait for that change of pattern, that change of direction. So let's just make sure that we keep a very close eye. Right now it's making lower lows and lower highs. It's around that good deal range. Now we just need to wait for it to confirm that this is a support by validating it, consolidating there, and then beginning to change its direction, just like we've seen it do before. So appreciate the call out. Now we just need to be a little bit more patient, right? So again, we have people like Mike right now just sharing the ticker symbol. Mike, very simple thing that we ask you to do is to post it in the ticker call out format. So something like Brian right now. So if you guys are just posting the ticker symbol, I will not break down the stock for you because you didn't do your own 2 cents and own due diligence on that. So Isaac, that is an also amazing example of what not to do. All right, here we go. So we got KR. So this is Kroger on the 180-day chart. It's not looking too good. It's making lower lows, making lower highs. Might need to look at this a little bit on the larger time frame. Let me see your breakdown. 2350. Yeah, as of right now, this just wouldn't be something that, again, and I like to keep things super simple. The direction is not in our favor. This thing is something that's selling off. And looking at the pattern and looking at how it's trading, just ask yourself, is this the pattern that you want your account to show, right? Is this, if this were to be your trading account and this were to show the growth, is this how you would want it to look with lower lows and lower highs? No, so why would you invest in something that's showing signs of a descending pattern? For a dip buy opportunity, all that stuff, just understand that when it comes down to trading this specific pattern and the overall direction is not in your favor, there's a huge form of risk when it comes down to that. So just a nice little reminder on that this might be something like for all those that always ask, right? Right now, when I spoke at that event on Saturday, a lot of people were asking me about Tesla. First of all, I'm not here to tell people what to do, right? But one of the things that we've talked about is that looking at Tesla and on the 1-year chart, Tesla has never been this, on the past 1 year, this is the lowest point that it's been at, around 186. Great, right? Does this mean that Tesla, I'm going to ask you guys this. You guys are all aware of kind of like the principles that we kind of run our group by. Does this mean that you should buy Tesla right now? Is this the best time to buy Tesla? Is this the best time to buy Tesla? I'm asking you guys, right? It's never been this low in the past year. Is this the best time to buy Tesla? Wait for confirmation. No. I did see one yes, but altogether, it's like the question of like, is this the best time to buy Tesla? I don't know, right? I don't know if this is the lowest point that it's going to hit. All I know is that for the past 180 days, it's been selling off. It's been showing no signs of a reversal. So ask yourself, if you're convincing yourself that right now it's the best time, why was last week not the best time to buy it, or 2 weeks ago around $225? And how do you think those people buying there feel now that they're down 16%? Or what about when it was at $300? The overall direction, the biggest thing that you should focus on right now is that this thing is selling off. It has a very consistent pattern of selling off right now. It doesn't mean that it's not a good deal. It just means that it has not shown any signs of a change of direction. So what can you do if you are so obsessed about if this is the best time to buy Tesla? Set your alert on when the direction of Tesla changes, because when the direction changes and it can still be viewed as a good deal, it has a lot of margin for recovery. So that's the beautiful thing about it. The more patient that you are with your entry point, the more efficient that you could be with your trading, because again, if you wait for confirmation, you at least do your part as a trader to make sure that you only take advantage of opportunities that are showing signs of growth. And I think that's ultimately what's most important. So being patient, and again, I've said this multiple times, can go a long way. It's the very simple things in life that I think a lot of people overcomplicate and overlook that can really make a huge difference in any of these creative markets that you're trying to excel in. Hey, no offense, but I didn't understand the stop beginning tutorial. It's fine. We have a bunch of videos, so I appreciate you asking. It's not anything that's offensive. I appreciate you asking about that, but I have over 1,300 videos on YouTube that you're more than welcome to search. You know, those are just my videos. There's a lot of other people on YouTube that are super talented that you can learn from. If you need any more assistance or you need more clarification for specific type of concepts, then again, either dedicate time in your time to watch those videos and try to cherry pick the main qualities off of that, or it's enroll or be a part of a group or enroll in a course that you see value in. Because if you want more structured and specific content, then that's where you're going to get it. But yeah, altogether that would be, you know, dedicate more time to either watch videos to try to answer your question or enroll in something that would be something of value. But, you know, do you need any course to be successful? No, it's just time is money, right? And just like you might be dedicating a lot of time to find a answer or solution for your problem, but, you know, ultimately it comes down to, like, you know, your time, so, and what you value that at. So let's go ahead and break this down. So we got EMES. What's going on? So EMES, here we go. Another perfect example of something that I will not be trading this week, right? I can see why it is that you're calling this one out. It pushed up about 76% on Friday. I get it. It went from 15 cents and it pushed up even higher. Perfect example of, you could see its current volume and how it normally was trading. And after this aggressive sell-off and all this, like, the volume bar is really picking up now, that there's some form of manipulation or some form of catalyst that's driving the price up or down. If you don't understand, easiest way for me to put it is, I'm not going to trade this because I don't understand what's driving the price up or down. Easiest way for me to put it. So if you don't understand what's driving the price up or down in a series of different factors or catalysts, then you won't understand when to buy, when to sell, or when is the appropriate time to get out and cut losses. So if you don't understand those three core principles, it's going to be very difficult for you long term to sustain yourself here in the market. So my biggest also piece of advice is make sure that you don't overcomplicate it and simply don't take a position in areas in which you are not ready nor understand just yet. I know you guys can probably hear that I'm still a little sick, but I'm definitely getting a lot better. So haven't touched a penny stock in months. And I think it goes a long way. Like, I think it's great. A lot of people see 76%. I coulda, shoulda. People always think coulda, shoulda. You know, grown my account 76%. That's not how it works, guys. First of all, a lot of this movement sometimes happens during pre-market hours, and you know, after that. So we could see maybe on the 2-day 1-minute chart, right? So we can move a little this way. We could see that based off where it closed and where it pushed that, or I don't even know how this correlated on over to 76%. Based off where it closed at, maybe because of how much it sold off during aftermarket hours and then all that stuff. But altogether, it's just like keeping it super simple. If you don't understand the growth or what's pushing it up or what's pushing it down, or when to get in for a good deal, when to get out for, you know, a good time to sell, or when to cut losses because there's a break of pattern, then you are not ready to trade that stock. Easiest way for me to put it. You are simply not ready. It doesn't mean that it's not fair, that it's impossible. It just means that you need to dedicate more time to gain experience and gain a better understanding of just really the core principles in trading. So TSG, what's going on, Connor? Appreciate you tuning in. TSG, here we go. Alrighty, so a very consistent descending pattern. It's been flatlining and trying to build a support right around that $16 to $17 price point. It looks like it's been almost trying to change its direction, so it's been consolidated and it's been trying to push up this SMA line, as you guys can see right here, where it pushed up to 22 and then pulled back. So it looks like it's definitely trying to push up. I would wait just for confirmation. I just don't like its overall direction. That's just me being extremely picky and selective, but just I want to give you both the pros and the cons. I like the consolidation. It looks a little bit more on the oversold side. It looks like confirmation is just all that we need. We needed to see it change its direction. And then after that, it looks like it might make sense. Don't be afraid to lock in profits at any indication of a resistance, but I just don't like how it was consistently selling off. Again, I know nothing about the company. Just make sure that you dedicate time to learn a little bit more about that so you have an edge on the market. So, am I tardy to the party, Primo? Of course, Juan. We've been out here. We've been out here for about how long? 24 minutes. Yeah. Party's almost over here, man. Here we go. So we got ticker symbol Dell. What's going on, Kyle? DELL. Here we go. I was just learning more about Dell this week, actually. So about the actual company itself. So Dell Technologies, very consistent uptrend. I see why you're calling it out. Just watch out as an up-and-coming earnings on 5/30/2019. So we know that could either drive the price up or drive the price down. It looks like it's in that good deal range. I want to ask you this, though. Yes, it's consolidating around the SMA line. It looks like you could potentially sell it for maybe a little bit more, right? So the margin isn't bad. One of the things that I want to remind you is Dell isn't something that moves extremely quick. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, right? So with that being said, do you think that buying it now and the time that it needs to consolidate and then push up and then get to $70, that it's going to be able to do all that before 5/30, right? 5/30/2019. Ask yourself, this is the goal to potentially sell out around that general area. You're waiting for confirmation of a reversal, right? Do you think that you're going to have enough time for the 3 stages of a reversal? Rejection, consolidation, and confirmation. If you think so, then great. Set up a plan. If you don't, then maybe you might want to just be a little bit more patient with the specific trade. So, all right, here we go. Ticker symbol AAL. What's going on, Gravity Snipes? All right, here we go. This is kind of like a descending, almost horizontal pattern. So we could see that it built a strong support around this $30 price point. So you could see around these areas, right? It tends to bounce. It tends to. Another key thing to please write down and remember, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. So when does a support become a support? When it confirms it. So is this a support right now? It was before. Patterns tend to repeat themselves, but until it bounces, and if and only if it does, and then begins to push up, just like it's done here, just like it's done here, and just like it's done here, every single time that it's bounced, it's done it in a different way, and it takes time. But confirmation is key. When is a resistance a confirmed resistance? When it confirms it. When is a support a confirmed support? When it confirms it. So I focus on price ranges that are viewed as good deals, and then we wait for confirmation. And confirmations, again, don't always happen because the patterns always don't tend to repeat themselves. Keep note of that. I'm going to set my alert. Appreciate this call out. It makes sense. I do want to remind you that it does have a descending resistance, so it continues to make lower highs with the same kind of like horizontal support right around $30. So just make sure you calculate the margin of profit. I would almost, it looks like every single time that it has pushed up, it has broke above the SMA line. Being extremely conservative, I would just identify the SMA line to be a resistance and try to calculate more of a conservative resistance in that general aspect. So just my 2 cents on that. So fact shot, really good pick. And my boy, what's going on, Buddha King? What's up? What's up? Hope you're having an amazing Memorial Day. We're having some good food, good people, and appreciating all those that I've served, right? ZYNE. So ZYNE. Here we go. What do you guys think about this? Oh, I know a lot of you guys are going to be very, what do you think about this? ZYNE. I'm going to tell you one reason I will not touch this. Can you guys guess? Can you guys guess why I would not touch this? ZYNE. For those that know me and what I trade, you guys will know why I don't do it. Yep, exactly. Gabriel said it. It's a pharma. It's a pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical, bioscience, marijuana, all those are just not ones that I feel comfortable trading. And asking that question backwards, right? Does that mean that you shouldn't trade pharmaceutical companies? What's the answer to that? Does that mean that because I don't trade them because I've had a bad experience with them, does that mean that you shouldn't trade them? Does that mean that you shouldn't? Does that mean that you shouldn't trade ZYNE? No, I want you guys to know that it does not mean that. I'm simply sharing, and this is why I make it super clear. Everything that I'm sharing in this video is based off of my experience, right? Or my opinion. I had a bad experience trading pharmaceutical companies, right? And that's why I just choose to no longer trade them. I have a good experience trading what? Natural gas ETFs, right? So because of that, I trade natural gas ETFs. So does that mean that everyone in this world should trade natural gas ETFs? No. One of my biggest also pieces of advice, man, we're just giving advices in this video today, yes. One of my biggest pieces in anything, in every market, is to understand there is not just one specific way or method in doing something. Or just because I do something a specific way or I have a specific focus, don't think that that's the only way it can be done. And I'm very open about this. I'm a true believer that I don't want to limit anybody, and that I'm a true believer that you will only gain your experience and your opinion if you dedicate time to practice that specific niche. So if you're paper trading, if you're simulation trading, and you find these patterns attractive on Z, Y, and E, then go for it. Practice it. I want to empower you to take advantage of opportunities in which you value. Let me explain to you on why I don't. I see there to be a lot of manipulation, a lot of pump and dumps, and a lot of misleading news being shared between marijuana, pharmaceutical, and bioscience. That is in my experience, and that's why I share that with you guys. So hopefully you approach it with caution, but it doesn't mean to completely stray away from that. We have people that don't do well with trading ETFs. Does that mean that you can't make money trading ETFs? No, of course. For those that watch me trade live in Learn Plan Profit, you guys can see me trade live these ETFs literally Monday through Friday, almost every single time. I'm almost always trading one of them, right? And I do very well with them. But that's kind of my niche, and that's my area, and that's what I resonate well with. So let's make sure that we understand that there's not one specific way in doing anything, but that you have to be open-minded with the general knowledge and understanding of how to do something, and you build off of that to develop your own specific trading approach. So shout out to you from Orlando. I need to say your name. What is going on? Oh, shoot, man. Catch me. Man, I'm sorry, and I really messed up your last name on that one, but or your first name. Apologize, but what's going on, man? Hope you're having a good Memorial Day weekend. So, love the teaching, Ricky. Keep it up. The Larson family. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, so the breakdown on this one very quickly. I like that it's a consistent uptrend. The MACD, the RSI all looks good. It looks like it doesn't always push down to the SMA line, but one of the things that, again, we like to wait for, we like to keep things super simple. Let's wait for that overall confirmation, right? We don't know how much it could sell off. This thing can sell off all the way down to, let's say, $10. And, instead of buying now, you can build yourself even a larger margin. It can drop another 20%. So again, patience is a virtue. And just set your alerts for both confirmation and if it breaks previous supports, just so you stay up to date with those that you see value in. So I'm going to break down 2 more stocks, and then we're going to call it a live stream. There we go. I trade technology stocks like Apple. Yeah, so we have a lot of people that focus on the technology sector, right? We have a lot of people that focus on different areas within ETFs. So like they only focus on like gold. And we have a lot of people that focus on like OTC stocks, right? Or penny stocks or, momentum stocks. You can literally, it's true. If there's a transaction being made, you can make money out of every niche within the market. But which one are you most consistent with and which one makes the most sense to you? That's the goal, having a niche down kind of area within the market to not overcomplicate it. So here we go. So Matty Chips, SE. Let's break that one down. All right, so what do you guys think about SE? I think it's extremely overbought, overextended, and it needs to come back and pull back to around the SMA line. It looks like its volume might be a little bit low. No, not that bad. 5-day, 5-minute chart, how does that look? Yeah, it looks extremely overbought. So it looks overbought, it's been consolidating, not really making higher highs anymore. Another thing that we like to focus on within Learn Plan Profit and TechBud Solutions is getting something for a good deal. Looking at previous price points, again, just focus on previous price points, how the pattern is trading. Does this look like a good deal? No, right? It looks like it's about to sell off and come back down to the SMA line and then consolidate here and then reverse back up based off previous patterns. So let's wait for that. Let's wait for that confirmation. Let's build that margin. Let's get that good deal to be able to successfully sell it for a profit. So how do you highlight the name on the chat? Like this? I think you just have to tag me. All right, so we got L and R. So we did already Connor. Here we go. Ricky, you're awesome. Your approach is very understandable. All the best for you. Appreciate that, and thank you, Oscar. I really do appreciate it. Here we go. So let's do this one. AUDC. How many likes can we get in this video? I know I always ask that and you guys are like, no, I'm not going to like it. I'm specifically not going to like it. I'd appreciate if you guys can give this video a thumbs up. If you guys enjoy these Sundays Talks, it lets me know that, we're doing something that you guys value. And I hope that you guys found my earlier video today somewhat, entertaining. It's really just for that, just entertaining content. I thought it had pretty cool music and stuff like that. So AUDC. Here we go. MACD doesn't look too good. It looks like it peaked out already. Do you see that? So it pushed up, became overextended, and is already kind of consolidating. It makes sense on why it can pull back. So this one's not as consistent as we'd like all patterns to be, but I could see this thing pull back just because of the RSI and the MACD and how it's kind of trading right now. That this thing would most likely pull back, correct itself, consolidate maybe around the SMA line or around $14, and then begin to push back up again. It just doesn't look like a good deal based off previous patterns and how it's been trading. So I would just refer back to asking yourself that very simple question: am I doing my part in trying to get the best deal possible? So thumbs up across the board, Ricky. Appreciate that. Kevin, thank you. So ever tried growing a beard? Yeah, only for 24 years, but here we are. So here we go. John Peters, ticker symbol CY. Let's break it down. I almost said let's break it down. Tatian. All right. Here we go. Strong consistent downward pattern. Looks like the overall change of pattern changed. So again, how does that look like? It was selling off, making lower lows, getting rejected by the SMA line, broke above the SMA line. The SMA line now began to act as a support and began to make higher highs and stuff like that. So as we can see now it broke below the SMA line, and we might start seeing a change of pattern once again, especially if we continue to see this thing getting rejected around the SMA line. So right now I would say that this thing is at a critical point where it's not really pushing up, it's not really pushing down, and we need to give it time for it to identify its true direction. So I like that. How about some likes for Ricky? I'd appreciate that. Hey, not a bad idea. Of course, thank you again for tuning in. What's going on, Kyle? What's up? Oh, super happy to hear that, Jessica. So is it worth taking part in LPP if I'm a beginner? I would first encourage you, Pam, to watch a couple of my videos. Feel free. I'll answer this. I'm not too sure if let me get your name. Can you share a Discord link with Pam just to make sure that I have him within TechBot Solutions Discord? So get the TechBot Solutions Discord link shared in the chat. Ishmael's going to send that over to you, and I want you to ask me any questions that you have about the course. But I want you to first have done your due diligence in watching my videos. There's a couple of videos that you can watch of me trading live, me explaining certain things. The course isn't like any magic secrets. It's, if you find my information on YouTube informative and effective, then it's, then you'll find my course informative and effective. The whole premise of the course is structure, and they're all new videos. They're not videos that you can find on YouTube, but they just get straight to the point, and they're structured for complete beginners. If you have questions, you get to ask me that during the live trading sessions, and I'm the only person that trades live every single day. So it's an option. It's not something that you are required to do. So I want to make sure that you know that. If you have not dedicated time to watch my videos on YouTube and you are not familiar with my trading style, don't enroll in the course. It's like an investment, right? You can only make assumptions if an investment is worth it when you've dedicated time to learn more about it. You're investing in our team. We're a team, right? You're not just investing in the course and you're just going to learn from the content. It's you invest in our team, you work with me on a daily basis, and you get to watch me trade live every single day. So make sure that you resonate well with my material, because if you don't like me, then you're not going to like spending time with me every single day, right? But I hope it's something you like. And I appreciate everyone that's saying that it's worth it. I'm glad that it's worth it for you guys. I just want to make sure that we give him his own opinion to be able to share and stuff like that. So, and again, whenever it is that you are ready, it does end tonight, but it's $75 off. And again, that's that first link in the description. So Matt Fuller's in, it's worth it. I like it. Best investment ever. Rod, you guys are too nice. Ooh, And I didn't even share with you guys. I'm actually in San Diego right now, so I'm with Odie. And how many people, I don't know about all of the people that are already enrolled in Learn Plan Profit. We've been talking about it, about like the being like an affiliate partner with Learn Plan Profit. And we're just working on, developing a really effective structure so it's that much easier for you guys to understand kind of like what we do within LPP and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be something that, once we do fully update the course, that you guys are going to really truly enjoy and benefit from, to learn kind of like the back end of how we do everything within LPP. So really excited for the version 2 update that we're going to be doing. And if you enrolled today, or if you enrolled, when we created the course, you're going to have access to the updates. You don't have to worry about that. You get access to all the updates, but I'll let you know when that's all ready. So Frank is saying just join LPP. Welcome to the team, man. So all right, let's go ahead and do 2 more, and then we can go that. So will you consider doing a follow-up video on the Sunday Stock Talk towards the end of the week? Not as of right now. I'm working less on, if you have specific questions, then if you're part of Learn Plan Profit, you can ask me during the live trading sessions or through direct message through our Learn Plan Profit Discord chat. So I'm really just trying to keep it more like, if you have a specific question, I want to answer it for you, but just voice it. And if it's much more open-ended, then I'll answer it during the live trading sessions. So what are you looking at for tomorrow? The only thing I can tell you is, did you see how much natural gas sold off? I think it's going to be a very interesting morning. I was talking to the guys here about it. You guys know that that's my huge focus, right? Natural gas. And I saw how much it sold off, and there's a lot of movement happening, and that gets me excited. So, but that's my opinion, and that's what I like to focus on. It doesn't mean that you should as well. So appreciate that, Art. Yeah, feeling a lot better. Yeah, so one thing that I can do, Josh, if you're part of the TechBud Solutions or Learn Plan Profit Discord chat, right? TechBud Solutions is free. I'll screenshot all the stocks that I broke down today, and then I'll share it in the announcement section just for you. All right. Here we go. So let me go ahead and break down just one more stock, and then I'm just going to do this one. So no more shout outs. So we're going to do it for Jeff, ATVI. So ATVI. All right, strong descending pattern. I actually don't like this one. Strong descending pattern. Yes, it's on the oversold side. It might make a potential reversal. I just don't like the overall direction that it's selling off. Activision, I'm 100% aware of what this company is. I just simply don't like it. Again, that's my opinion, but how the overall direction is continuously descending. So let me see if I can give you one that I think might be a little bit better to kind of watch, right? I feel like SQs recently began to change its direction, so the overall market is kind of like pulling back and selling off, which means that ticker symbol SQs is, SQQQ has been pushing up, so maybe something to look into. We got, no, not that. Yeah, we talked about AGXO, right? NRG is approaching a previous support, but still no confirmation of a reversal. I'm going to set my alerts on this one again. Ticker symbol NEE, extremely overbought, overextended, but I like the overall pattern, so that's why I added it to my watch list. I'll probably remove it later. Still waiting for confirmation on this one, so I'll set my alert on this. FLNT, still waiting for confirmation. Perfect example. Nice low consistent uptrend. Hopefully no one bought just because it was around the SMA line. Perfect example that patterns tend to repeat themselves, but they don't have to. Look how it's sold off below the SMA line, and it's not showing any signs of a reversal just yet. So perfect example, especially when the market is selling off. That's when you really want to be extremely selective. Let's talk about this one. We talked about this one the week before. This is ticker symbol COKE. So nice little consistent uptrend. It's approaching the SMA line. Again, patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't have to. It's really in the consolidation phase. It's not even selling off anymore, but it's not making higher highs. So let's wait for that change of pattern, change of direction, and let's wait for this thing ultimately to begin to make higher highs. If we want to grow our accounts, then let's invest in patterns that are showing signs of growth. Literally, that's simple. Wait, be patient, wait for the confirmation, make sure the margin of profit is worth it. Don't go all in. Slowly add more to your position size as you feel comfortable, and ultimately just sell at any indication of a resistance, regardless of how much you're up or how much you're down. Just stick true to the patterns. So the margin of profit on this one, based off previous patterns, should be around 25%. So not bad. So, alrighty. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, team. I'm gonna continue. We're filming a couple of videos with Odie. If you guys are familiar with him, with Odie Productions, he's huge with like affiliate marketing, and he has come a series of like different like affiliate services that he does himself and that he did after he dropped out of like UCLA. That he generates like thousands of dollars also a day simply from doing this. So I think it's going to be very effective and important to be able to implement what he shared with us in the little meeting that we had earlier today, and how we're going to share that within Learn Plan Profit. And for those that are part of Flipping Wheels and our TechBot Solutions team, not for you just to learn, how to become an effective individual when it comes down to providing a product or service, but really learning the ins and the outs of marketing, which I think is something that could be of huge value. I took away some things with like structure and that he shared with us today that is going to make it a lot easier for all of us. So really excited for that. So ticker symbol Ricky, yeah. So all right, guys. Well, really do appreciate you guys' time. I hope I earned your thumbs up in this video. I hope that you're excited for this overall week. We have 4 days to make the most of it. Last week was a little bit slow for me when it came down to trading. The week before that was actually really great. It doubled my overall goal. So let's, make sure that we have goals, that we work towards them, that we don't overcomplicate it and aggressively overtrade. We keep it simple, and that we just don't act like Carlos. Carlos is saying the stock market gonna crash. Yeah, we just don't want to say just very naive type of things like that when there's no fact to support it. So totally kidding with you, Carlos. I'm sure that you were saying that as just a joke. But yeah, I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your week. Based off my understanding and how veterans like to be, appreciated, I think it's the saying of like never forget. So really do appreciate everything that is that you guys have done. Hope you guys are all having an amazing Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day as it being Monday. And let's have fun. Let's learn some things, and let's make some money, right? So appreciate you guys' time again. All the links are provided for you down below. And like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take